I lecture across two separate programs. So on the main campus, I lecture in the Interior Architecture program, which is in the Architecture Factory. And I am also lecturing on the joint course, which is the architecture course, MTU and UCC, and we're based at Nanonagle Place. So I mainly lecture in the design studio for first year design students, which is great to see first years coming in and that initial phase. And I also supervise fourth year dissertation students, which is fascinating, getting to develop those projects with those students. And in addition, I have 3 PhD students. So it's really varied from first years to PhD, which I massively enjoy. So every day is different, every day is fascinating, learning all the time. So I feel very lucky to enjoy things as much as I do. I am really interested in collaborative projects, particularly design build work, where students get to not only design but realize their projects. Last summer, we were incredibly fortunate to collaborate on a design pop project with Blackrock Castle Observatory, MTU, and the architecture students, and they managed to build a pavilion full scale. And arising from that, there's been a few other interesting projects. My incredible colleague Katie Power in law came up with an idea for a Learning Spaces conference, which was run just before Christmas. And only in the last week, we have had a project which we called Learning Space Structures. Both those projects are funded by the Teaching and Learning Unit at MTU. So the Learning Space Structures project involved fabricating kits that were devised by my colleague Mulrooney. And these kits, some of them had to be sent to students across Ireland, and they were able to build these structural models, platonic solids, and from that come up with ideas for what could be built at the end of the semester, one-to-one, full-scale, real life. So they've come up, the students, first-year students have come up with amazing ideas, from chicken coop to lampshades to different types of shelters. So it should be a really nice way to end off the year for students to be there on campus and doing these kind of collaborative building projects. As a mother of 2 young daughters, International Women's Day has a particular resonance with me. My 8-year-old daughter Maya, only the other week, said that she wants to be the first woman on the moon. And I was reading about the European Space Agency advertising for astronauts, and now they're looking for equality. So I want to, be part of the group that's looking for equality, especially for children like my daughters who are alive at a time when that is a real possibility. And we were looking at Dr. Niamh Shaw and Dr. Nora Patton, who are hoping to be the first Irish women in space. So it's kind of amazing to be able to have those dreams and to support her in those dreams, that they are real dreams, achievable with the right support. And when I think of International Women's Day, I also think about how fortunate I was during my time as a student in UCD when I studied architecture. There was a group of women who worked so hard together on our drawings, our models and our projects. And it's amazing that throughout all the years we've stayed in contact with each other, and we've been kind of a support network for each other. We're in contact pretty much every week, and I often say to the first year students coming in, if you look at the people around you, you'll see that these are the people that will be part of your life, and this kind of support and encouragement to you. my own mother has been a source of inspiration when she went back to work when we were a little bit older as kids. She also was studying and completed her PhD. So this was very informative, seeing how it was possible to do all these things at the same time. So that was a real inspiration. As an architect, I'm really inspired by certain artists and architects, very drawn to the work of Mexican artist Frida Kahlo and the work of Lina Bobardi, whose buildings I was incredibly fortunate to visit in Brazil when I had an amazing colleague, Thais, who brought me around to see Lina Bobardi's buildings. Finishing my PhD with a small baby was a challenge for sure. So I used to work when she was asleep. And if anything, I think that gave me greater motivation when you've only got a limited window of time to get things done. And then I suppose there was a great feeling of achievement then completing it while she was still small. Like so many people, there's the challenge at the moment of remote schooling and remote working and trying to juggle all of those things. But what I find interesting is from my younger daughter, Esme, who's 5 and in junior infants, I could be doing work with her at one part of the day. And then in another part of the day, I'm working with the fourth year dissertation students or the PhD students. So it means that across the morning, you're really kind of going across all the different stages of education. And they all, I suppose, influence each other and inform each other. So it's really busy. There's not enough hours in the day very often, but it's interesting too. So it's a good challenge.